What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Breaking the Baits, episode 96. And we're going to be bringing a special video. We're going to be doing a spoiler review of Thor Ragnarok. I have with me Ken and my girl, Madam B. We're going to go ahead and kick this off. Everybody say hey.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, then. I just want to go ahead and get this jumping right off the bat. Guys, what did y'all think? What are your initial feelings about Thor Ragnarok?
How about ladies first?
Well, I'm not a Thor fan. Well, it's my first Thor movie, but it was really good. As far as I can tell, it was really good. Let's see, Chris Hemsworth. I really don't know much about him, but he played a good role up in that. Like I said, it's my first Thor movie, but they did really good.
What about you? What did you think about it, Ken?
I loved it. I did not look at my watch the entire 2.5 hours of that movie, from the beginning of it to the end of it. They did a very. It's not your. It still got your Marvel taste to it, but it had a lot more like in the Avengers. When we first saw the Avengers,
yeah,
where you had Thor's on his own. He just walked into a crap load of problem, and it kept getting worse and worse for him. And then you had Odin. The scene with Odin was really cool. We find out what's been going on behind the scenes and what has Odin's been hiding all this time, which is really cool, which is Hela. And we even learn more as the story goes. You learn so much more about Hela's character and how Odin used to be. The literally, Billy Badass, taking whole planets down, bringing chaos and chaos into order, I guess we could say. We learn a lot. We see a relationship, an interesting relationship with Loki and his brother start forming a little bit that hasn't been as clear cut in a lot of the movies. Mm-hmm. We see a lot. The Thor Hulk fight scene is awesome.
Yes, that's the one.
That is by far one of the. That's right up there with the Tony Stark and the Hulkbuster armor.
Yes,
and the Hulk going at it. But I mean, same concept, but very much different. And it was freaking awesome. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then just the relationship between the Hulk as the Hulk, not Banner, and Thor was funny. Because you're dealing with the super powered monster with little brain, but it's hilarious. It's great.
Yep.
It works so well together. I mean, I was very thrilled to see that. We get Helena is badass too. She showed up and started taking names, and man, she took a lot of names.
I think she had to be one of the most ruthless and most powerful bad guys introduced in the MCU at this point.
Yeah, she was just wickedly. She tried to be nice about it, and then just said "screw you." And when she did, game on. I mean, that whole Asgardian army and her.
Wiped out.
That was crazy. That was like insanity happening because she can develop weapons off her body, like I don't know, what would you call, like a bio metal or something like that would just pop up out of her.
I end up finding out that character, like Hela's abilities in the comics, isn't that. It's another character that had access to like infinite weapons, and they basically just took that concept and gave it to her.
And it worked well. Because it fit her character. I mean, based on the story that they portray later in the movie, as you learn, the more truth about what Hela and Odin were doing before Thor came around, before Odin changed his ways of doing things. It's just good. Doctor Strange was awesome.
Yes.
That whole scene was great too. I mean, this movie, it has a lot of action in it, but it has a lot of humor, and they balanced them very well in this movie. I mean, the Doctor Strange one was great. Just how they were just popping with him, and he's going through moving things. It's probably one of the it's probably one of the top 2 or 3 best scenes out of that movie because it's so well done. It's so spontaneous, you kind of expect it, but you can't. I mean, it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
Especially the beer cup. That was just great. I mean,
we
what
also
else?
have a beer cup that could do that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just refills itself.
I can't. Never mind. I can't drink beer.
Beer's out. I don't drink, so you're okay. I was gonna say drink one for me, but you're out too. There's so much in the movie. It's. I mean, we could take that movie and break it down. I know we're gonna be limited on time because somebody's gonna be going to see another movie tonight that I want to go see, but I have to wait till Friday or Saturday.
Yeah,
which is Justice League.
Everything ahead of time.
I know. I would love to go, but I can't go right today.
All right, perfectly understandable. For those of you who don't know, Thor Ragnarok is basically Thor ends up landing on this planet called Sakaar, where he's basically has to be in this gladiator tournament that way, so he can get back to Asgard to stop Hela from
ruining Asgard.
I don't want to say destroying Asgard per se, because she wasn't trying to.
No, she wanted to rule Asgard as the true heir because she was the firstborn, but because she was so wickedly evil and so out of control that Odin put her away into a kind of like a temporal lockbox, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
And he was basically the only thing holding it back, is keeping her away. I love how she was. I mean, her whole personality of the character was great. And her dark humor was funny too, especially when she was like dealing with
Scourge.
Scourge was great. When she was being, telling the story of her, and she's like, well, Dad locked me up and this, that, and you're like, she was like a spoiled kid. I mean, she's thousands of years old already, and she's like, talking like a kind of a youthful kid. But when she gets mean now, woo, man, it was awesome.
I know you don't know, but I did tell you that this movie is a combination of the Planet Hulk storyline and the actual comics of Thor Ragnarok. They just put them together.
Yes. Yes, there's two complete different storylines actually combined together, I would say.
They worked, actually.
I know that they didn't really get too far into the complete story of Ragnarok because it does change if you understand what the Ragnarok concept is. Yeah. Because Thor's trying to stop Ragnarok, which is basically the destruction of Asgard. But what he isn't aware of, and granted spoiler talk, Ragnarok is a cycle that Asgard has gone through for thousands and thousands of years. Every so often, basically it gets burned to the ground and everything restarts. Everybody gets killed. They all come back. And it's a continuing cycle. And they don't know who they are for a little while, and then they kind of learn themselves and come back. And
I didn't know that.
Oh, well. And that's why he was, and Thor basically was interfering with the process, and Odin was like, that was kind of what he was saying. We all come back. We all, Odin's in this case, though, I don't think they're going to do that storyline.
No, I don't think they are.
Per se, of where they come back, because they end up coming back into Asgardians on Earth. And then they have to start all over again. You get the floating Asgard, which you'll see in the comics a lot, until they end up, settling out somewhere else. But the way they did it, the way they executed it, and Sultar was freaking cool.
Yes. The fire demon.
Yeah, I love how they begin the movie where he's stuck in the cage. He goes, well, I guess you wonder how I got here. That was so good. It was just, didn't expect it, the humor right off the bat like that, but it was like, so I'm screwed. How long you been here, buddy?
I know in the trailer they made it seem like when he met the Hulk, that's when he started telling his story.
Yeah.
Then in the movie, and I like the Suture. Sultar. I can't say his name right.
We'll go Sultar.
Sultar. I liked him because he had a bit of humor to him, a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, your dad locked me away, and I would like to come and destroy you guys. I would love to come up there and kick your asses, but I'm kind of messed up because your dad. It was great. I mean, he was so sarcastic, and it was awesome. And then the whole fight scene down there was cool too. I mean, we get some really good visual fight scenes, especially with the and his hammer Malnor. That was great too.
That's the most badass I've seen Hulk in a fight like that.
Oh damn, yeah, he was whooping him. But there's just so much of a good balance in this movie of the humor and the action and the story. I mean, they executed it so well. I mean, Marvel's done really good, but this one has been excellent in everything. If Infinity Wars is going to step this game up, you know, this is a good example of what we're going to see for Infinity War. Man, that's going to be a wicked badass movie when it comes out in 2019. I am going to say something I did. I heard somebody else say in the video, and I kind of do agree with them because I kind of thought of it while I was watching the movie. Is the whole Sakaar. There was two things that I wanted to see that they didn't put in the movie. One was more of the gladiator thing, like Thor just now getting there. You wanted to see him fight other beings before he got to Hulk. And the way the movie kind of portrays it is he's like, well, I want to fight the champion. He's like, okay. Like, I would like to see kind of a build up. Let him fight all these other, like, probably do like a montage of him kicking, like. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like Gladiator, but accelerated a little bit. Yeah. Also, kind of the rebellion thing, too. Because they bring it up, but you don't really actually see it. No, but the way they do it is great. And in fact, there's rumor of the I can't think of his name. Gorg, was it Gorg? Whatever the guy's name is. The rock guy. Yeah. The rock guy and his little buddy. They're talking about trying to spin them off into one of the MCU series as also. Oh, okay. But he was funny. I loved it. It was the first time that character talked. You're like, what? Did that voice come out right? His character is like perfectly for like. He's like one of those comedic characters, the very few comedic characters that make it into a movie and actually work. Yeah, he's not a Jar Jar Binks. Yes, but he was so good. I mean, the whole setup with those two guys or the two characters was great. Man, there's just so much. Well, for those who don't know, the Game Master and the Collector are tied together from. In the comic series, they're brothers, and most people, if they remember that the Collector had that mark, that tattoo down his lip like that, and had the hair and crazy, and then we had the same thing with the Game Master. They're both hand in hand. He was in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Correct. He was the one that had the ball, and then the girl in the pink picked it up and then blew up the whole collection. Because he was like, what was it he said in Guardians of the Galaxy? He was like, oh, you didn't clean this right? Remember what happened to the other girl and she's in the case? Yeah, she wasn't going to have that. And we see all the cameos of the characters in there too. But yeah, we're going to see probably some more Game Master at the end credits, you know, where he's like, what? I'm glad the revolution's over, guys. It was a drill. It was only a drill. You know, we're good to go.
Yeah. The one in the first beginning, I thought he was gonna be in there more, so he wasn't really part of the movie.
I mean, he was, but movie wasn't really about him, which I kind of like how they spent that. They kind of did make him seem like he was gonna be like one of the main bad guys, sort of.
Well, they spun him enough to give him a little depth to the character, and then they just kind of. Back to where we were, back to the beginning of the movie, where we need to be. Yeah, that's how. But yeah, that was very freaking cool. And I like Scourge. You know, basically he redeemed himself there at some point in the movie, and the way he did it was pretty cool.
Died.
I'm not like a soldier. I kind of thought that was going to happen, but he did go out like a soldier.
Well, I like the whole when they Thor zaps Helena with the big lightning bolt, and then he shows up on the bridge, on the Rainbow Bridge, and then you have that whole scene when they start kicking into Led Zeppelin, and they start going in that, and I was like, oh damn, it's on, and boom, zap, crap, you know, they're working their way through all that mess. Awesome.
One more thing I have to say it because I wrote a review on it, and I did a review too on the video. which I will be uploading after this goes up. I kind of wish that they would have put a little bit more emphasis on the Hulk versus Finwar fight too. I was kind of a little bit disappointed because I was like, it seemed like a really cool concept, but you only get like 3 scenes.
Yeah,
that's they get on the bridge. He grabs Hulk by the arm. They fall off. They in the water fighting a little bit, and then the part where they're fighting in the water, and then the wolf falls off of Asgard,
knocks his ass off. Yeah,
there
wasn't a whole lot. I mean, granted, they were kicking the focus in on Thor and the Valkyrie and all that going on the bridge. And a star of our show is Thor, and showing off his new found ability.
Yeah.
Although he's out of hammer, though.
I will say this, since they did provide me with a big entertainment with the Thor and Hulk fight, I would forgive them for that.
Yeah, it was kind of a side thing going on, and I didn't want to lose too much of distraction with it. I mean, you're like, yeah, kick his ass, but you had we had 3 different storylines happening just on that bridge alone.
Mm-hmm.
You had the people evacuating, we had Scourge, we had the Valkyrie and Thor fighting Hela. We got, Hulk fighting off on the side of the bridge. There's a lot of things going on just in that small scene of space.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it was cut very effectively. I mean, we got a little bit of everything. Granted, now, Hulk fighting the wolf was not as prominent.
Yeah.
But I mean, you kind of got that feel of how the battle was going. Because I mean, you got 2 very powerful animals at this point, really, because the Hulk's a raw, pure animal, but fighting back and forth in the water. So, it's kind of hard to film underwater or film that scene because I think it would have taken away, if they'd gotten up on the land, that would have been cool. Or further back on the bridge, maybe, fighting it out, that would have been pretty cool.
For those who don't know, they did change up a couple of things in the story. We did already mention that the story is basically a combination of Thor Ragnarok and Planet Hulk, but there were a couple other things they did change, such as some of Hela's abilities. Her origin story is that she's not Odin's daughter, she's Loki's daughter, and she's supposed to be like over the realm of their version of hell or the afterlife.
Yes.
What else? What was more of it? I'm like thinking of course, Thor never was on Sakaar. They did have Beta Ray Bill.
Yes, Ares and the Man Thing were all showing in the tower of the Game Master. Big giant face.
Silver Surfer there too?
What was that?
Silver Surfer, wasn't he one of them too?
No. The one that you're thinking of is there's another character. I was trying to find him real quick as we were talking of all the people that were on there, but I'm pretty sure it was Man Thing. Oh, here we go. Beta Ray Bill was one of them. God of War, Ares. The Mighty Bi Beast was one of the other ones that kind of looks like the Silver Surfer, the kind of a weird, similar face style. Basically was the other one that was there. So you got a crossover. Beta Ray Bill would have been freaking cool to see. Everybody's been looking for Beta Ray Bill in the series, especially since they've talked about rebooting Thor's character. Or gender bending Thor's character, but really it's not bending. Thor is just like a title or a...
I don't understand it either. Beta Ray Bill is basically BoJack Horseman with Thor's powers.
Well, he was a guardian of his planet. That's how he was able to be worthy of carrying the hammer in the first place. He was a hero and sacrificed himself and ended up running into Thor's hammer completely by accident after a big battle, and he was able to wield it. And when he slammed it to the ground, kind of like we saw in the when Thor was carrying his umbrella, that is the same thing that happens when he hits the ground. He turns into Thor. So same thing happened to Beta Ray Bill. He became kind of like basically Thor. Now, Odin commissioned him another, Beta Ray Bill got commissioned a hammer through Odin, very much like Thor's hammer. Not Malnor, but that one is there. So somewhere along the lines, I don't know where in our story we're running at. So Beta Ray Bill is either already got the hammer and carrying on, or he is somewhere bound to come in later in another episode, or maybe a crossover somewhere. Maybe
I'm thinking
hard to say.
Coming in through the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what I'm thinking they're going to come in at.
He could. He could. We know that we're going to see Thor and the Guardians meet up at some point in Infinity War because he hits the windshield of their ship, and they bring him inside the ship. And that's one of them little spoiler trailer things that's been floating around out there for a couple weeks now. Because it shows him splat right into his windshield.
Infinity War. Remember the bad guy that was in Guardians of the Galaxy, the guy that was in the gold?
Thanos.
Thanos.
The blue guy?
Blue guy with a really big smile.
He's purple. The one he was talking to. He was like,
he's got the big jaw and the big smiley teeth,
like.
And he's floating in a chair. Oh yeah, since you brought that up, when Helena's going through the vault with the eternal flame, she's like, half this stuff's all fake. Okay. And one of them was the Infinity Gauntlet.
And the Guardians of the Galaxy and all the heroes of Earth are going to go at it against this guy. You know those Infinity Stones? Mm-hmm. That's what he's like that right there.
They all fit in the glove.
So basically, they're going to be fighting the god.
Well, he's already pretty powerful as is anyway. But we know that we're pretty sure at the end of one of the Guardians movies, he has the real Infinity Glove.
Mm-hmm. Which I like how they did that in the movie where it was like, it's a fake one. I was like,
and she knocks it off. Fake. Fake. Half the crap in here is fake. And then we saw the Terrasact, and she goes, interesting, and kept on going. But later we saw Loki come in here to put Sultar's head on the eternal flame.
Do you think the Tesseract? Because I think
there's a spoiler clip again floating out there with Loki handing something to Thanos, and it looks very much like the Terrasact. And in that preview trailer that they put for Infinity War at Comic-Con, he shows up, kind of like he teleports in, and I think he's got the blue stone in the glove already.
So they have a Infinity Wars trailer already?
Kind of pseudo for Comic-Con. You can find it on YouTube. I'll try to find it and send it to you in a link.
All right.
Somebody recorded it. It wasn't, like greatest quality, but it gave you enough to go, oh man, what? And then it comes up with Infinity War. So Thanos does have the glove, and he at least has the Terrasact, or will have the Terrasact right off the bat. At least based on that.
What teaser. Is the funniest part of the Thor Ragnarok movie? In your opinion?
Ooh.
I guess at the end when the Hulk wasn't supposed to fight, but he was fighting that demon.
Oh yeah, when he jumped up.
Yeah, Thor goes after Sultar. What? He's a big bad guy. No, let him do it. Let him keep going.
I think one of the funniest parts to me was when Bruce Banner is like, you want to know who I am? I'll show you who I am. He jumps out the ship. He jumps to the floor. He just falls.
Boom! Hits the ground. Yes, that was great. That was awesome.
If there was ever a guy moment there, that was it.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Hilarious. And also, go ahead.
The one where Thor and the Hulk are fighting in the gladiatorial ring, and he's like, "I don't want to mess with you," and Hulk grabs him by the feet and smashes him into the ground like he did Loki.
Yeah.
In the Avengers movie, and he's beating him into the ground like that, and then he stands there and goes, "See how it feels? Doesn't it feel?" That was a good one too. The whole Loki and the Hulk thing at that tournament was great. Just his absolute fear of seeing the Hulk, and he's like, "Hey, Loki, look who it is! It's the Hulk. He's a friend of mine from work." That scene that was great. That whole just that few first 5 or so minutes of the gladiatorial scene.
Soon as the
phenomenally hilarious.
Soon the whole bush through, what was the first thing Loki said? I got to get off this planet.
I've got to go. No, have a seat. Come on, park your butt. We're gonna watch it.
I think another one of the funniest scenes. It was just dialogue. It was just how it was shot. Was when Thor makes it back to Asgard, and Odin, Odin is watching the play, and then he's like, Thor's here, and then he's like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. And then he says, and he starts doing his Malnor, throwing it back and forth, and he throws it way out there, and he grabs him and goes, are you going to really keep doing this? What? Are you going to really keep this up? Huh? There's nothing's going to stop it when it comes back. And he holds Odin right there, and you can hear it coming. Okay, I give. Oh man! But that's actually out of the comic book too. I found a thing earlier, kind of going through some of the stuff I may have missed and the spoilers and all the little Easter egg things. That is actually out of one of the comics, dead on, that he did that, which was pretty cool. So they brought it to life. Yeah, that was like sweet.
I really appreciate the little moments like that, and I do love all of the Thor movies. Even though there are bigger things going on in the stories, they always do focus on Loki and Thor's relationship.
Yeah,
and
Hurt Man
did a pretty good job of it too.
I like it when they're in an elevator and he's not really telling him, how he feels, and then he's like, "What's do Hurt Man? What? I don't like that." And then next thing you know, I need help. Oh, so good.
Awesome at the guy.
Yeah, he throws him at the crowd and he's like, I like it, but I love it. I don't like it. Remember Stan Lee's cameo in this one?
Yes. Stan Lee always has to make a cameo, and I actually kind of liked it in this one.
I was waiting for it, and then I hear his voice, and then you see him, and he's like, oh, my hands are a little more shakier this time. No, don't cut my hair. No, please don't do it. So great.
I think. What did you think about Valkyrie's character? Did you think that she was a strong character herself?
I want to see more Valkyrie. I would love to see more Valkyrie in Valkyrie capacity.
I was curious about Sif. What happened to her? Now I don't know because she does make appearances in Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
I don't know if during this time she was like on Earth with them.
Or one of the other realms doing, Asgardian business. That was a question that I saw in one of the reviews was, where is Lady Sif? Where's she at? And they kind of it was kind of blank, no real responses. She was mentioned that she's been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. She had an awesome intro too. Like when she came in.
The Valkyrie?
Yeah.
I like the whole scene with the Valkyrie when she goes back and starts telling her story. And just how they filmed that whole filming thing was just wicked good. But it didn't give us a whole lot of anything. I would like to see something about. I know they're talking about bringing her back as a reoccurring MCU character, which would be cool. But I want to see more. I want to see the Valkyrie's precursor to Ragnarok, which would be pretty awesome because she was funny because she was drunk. She was funny. But she was action-packed, and she took no faults whatsoever. It was good.
I even kind of like that you see a little bit where she's kind of tussling with the Hulk.
Yeah, that was funny. She was training him how to fight, and some of this stuff. So, I mean, there was a good rapport, and I like it because they kept going, you look familiar, too. Yeah, you look familiar. Have we met before? And they just didn't quite tie it all together and until the scene where he falls on the bridge. I'll show you who I am. Splat, and she's like looking out like, okay. Until she lands and he changes, and then she realizes who he is.
Yeah. I was thinking about how they translated Thor's powers, why you never actually seen him do like the stuff that he did in this movie before. And I think they did a great idea of saying, hey, you're pretty powerful, but you're not in full control of it. So we're gonna give you the hammer to help you concentrate it and focus it. And then when it gets destroyed, now he has to learn how to deal with his actual ability.
Well, he's adapting and learning. I like how they brought Odin back in these flashbacks
I don't even think it was flashback. I think it was more like.
Well, maybe not such. Kind of like, you know, to us it would have been like, it kind of looked like a flashback, like not in the past, but maybe kind of like, you know, like a character in your head's like, look, get up, get moving. You got to get out here and do it. You know, and it's kind of like, you know, he's talking to him from the afterlife, or you know, the last time he saw him. Because I love those scenes. I mean, it kind of gave me little goosebumps, you know, when you see him and he's like, the hammer was just for you to focus. Now go out there and do the right thing. Get out there and go fight. So,
and I ain't gonna lie, I do like how they did the send off to where Thor lost his eye, and then they put the little patch on. Now he does look more like Odin.
Yes, yes. That kind of plays into the Ragnarok rebirth, but it's Thor though in this case.
So I'm gonna ask you this, this: who is your favorite character?
Was not like favorite, but I like Korg.
Oh, the rock guy.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Ken?
I kind of like the Valkyrie, her style and how she came into the show and kind of, you know, brought herself in there, and she basically came from a drunk, escaping her, you know, the horrors of what happened to the whole Valkyrie team by just hanging on the planet. She's always drunk. Like when she first shows up, you know, she's mine, he's mine, and fell into the pile of gunk, stood up, and she's all trashed. And as she progresses and learns to retake her responsibility as she develops through the movie, back into what she was, you know, a very formidable, elite fighting machine. And it was really cool. I really enjoyed the character of the Valkyrie. Or what, Scavenger 147?
Yeah. I'm kind of stuck between the Hulk and Hela, because
I like her.
Hela's character, but it's nice to see how Hulk thinks. And what was one of the things he said? He said he wanted to stay because people on Earth didn't like him, but here,
they love him.
I like that. I like that.
I liked it when Banner actually kind of snapped out when he finally shrunk out of the Hulk situation on the on the stealth jet, and he's been the Hulk for 2 years plus.
Yeah.
And, you know, Banner was obviously not in control. The Hulk took over completely. And when he finally snaps out of it, all the funny stuff that happens, because he goes, look, I've been this guy for 2 years. You know, what the hell's gone on in 2 years? And he's like all paranoid now and out. And he's like, and what was it? The sun comes down. They kept saying it throughout the whole, like a calming phrase that was supposed to help him calm down and not become the Hulk.
Yeah, the
sun kept saying it. The sun said something, and he kept doing it the whole time. And he's like, "Look, just stop! You're gonna make me turn just because you're saying it."
I like.
And he had Tony Stark's pants. And he said he kept grabbing his crotch all the time.
Yeah,
said, Tony wears his stuff tight.
I like how they changed them back
with the Widow.
Yeah, with Black Widow. So I was like, okay, that right there was pretty brilliant. That was clever. That was really clever. I'd say I'd go to Hela, because I did like her character, and like I said, I understand the motivation. And it wasn't like she was like, you know, I'm just gonna wipe out everybody. It was like, okay, if you're not with me, you're against me. That's
exactly. Yep. Conform with me or pay the price. You know, I hated that they got rid of the I forgot what they call them, the trio.
I'm sorry, I never liked them. I didn't think anything was remarkable about any of them. The only one I liked was Sith.
Yeah, but I mean, they just killed. I mean, it was just like there was no effort. I mean, it was just like, let's just dress these guys up and then done.
Yeah, you would think it'd be kind of more of a fight.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing. I mean, there was zero effort. I mean, she dropped them guys in 5 seconds flat.
Scourge made it to the end of the movie, and they didn't.
Yeah, that's, you know, it's like,
who are you?
What the hell?
Oh,
first guy's gone. Next guy, he blinks. Boop, he's gone. The last guy, oh crap, boop, boop. And then she gets him one more time just for spite. You know? No, she got the last 2 guys one more time just for spite. You know, it's like, what the heck is going on? I mean, these dudes didn't even, you know, done.
He must have pissed off the director or something.
Yeah, you guys screwed up big time.
Y'all want to raise? Okay.
Yeah. Here, let me write this into the thing, and you die, you die, you die. Okay, we're good.
It's like the director had it to where if any of these people piss me off, I have a segment where they die.
Yep. Violently die.
Hemdale. Oh, I liked Hemdale. I kind of wish. Well, he did enough. I'm not gonna lie.
He was more than the rest of the movies. Because all you saw was him, looking and just turning the thing, and then except for Dark World, where he came in, and he actually did some action stuff because he's actually a badass fighter anyway.
Yeah.
But this one, it was interesting to see him. He's not wearing the extreme, armor and everything. It's just I'm a guy who has the foresight of omnipresence, and and him getting in there and using the sword, the Bifrost sword to, fight with. And then his goal was saving all those people. That's what he'd been doing for the last few months, is saving people of Asgard. So I liked how they brought him into the story.
You make a pretty good point. I actually liked him though. He has more to do. You see him utilize his abilities a bit differently. Like when he was showing, it's like he was projecting Thor through his eyesight.
Yes,
like
he was sharing his vision basically.
So him though. I can't believe I almost I forgot about. Sorry, him though. What do you think about the performances? I thought all of them were good.
Everybody did phenomenal. There was nothing I did not like about that movie, except it ended. Because, I never ever looked at my watch clock. I never got bored. There was a good balance of action, a good balance of humor, a good balance of everything was just well balanced. It was an excellent movie.
Yes.
I liked the style of humor that they opted to put into this one, which fits because all the Thor movies have kind of had that little bit of smarty, thing between Loki and Thor, and they, the way they ran across the movie. But there was some really, like I say, that scene with the Valkyries was like, whoa. The filmography in it was just like crazy.
That was awesome. That was.
I was just like,
out.
Whoa, that whole, and I wish I had seen more of it, but I understand why they cut time because it's a long movie. It's 2.5 hours, but you will not pay attention to it. You have to be absolutely bored to have not enjoyed that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was that good, and I would like to see what they do with the next one, but we're looking at what at least 2 years more or so before we'll ever see another Thor, possibly. Since we're going to see Infinity War 1 and 2 prior to any of the other releases.
Captain Marvel, is supposed to come out, what, is it next year or the year before? Year after.
Year after Infinity War. Unless they guest appearer in there, which I don't foresee.
Nah. There was just a lot to like about the movie. They had some great action, it had great humor. And if there's one thing the Thor movies have is the dialogue, that witty dialogue.
Yes.
Very. It works in the movie. And I also love the focus of like the relationships between the characters. Yeah, we got Thor and we got Loki. And then there's this kind of relationship, not like relationship, but the focus between what's going on with Banner and Thor, and then
Hulk and Thor.
And kind of this camaraderie between Valkyrie and Thor. And maybe there could have been a relationship between Banner and Valkyrie if they actually remember who the hell they were.
Yeah.
They knew who each other were. But as far as that balance, I do like that. I kind of wish there would have been a little bit more focus of the tension between Loki, Thor, and Hela. Like you see when she first appears.
Yeah.
But I wish there was kind of like one moment where there's this, they're trying to appeal to her in this kind of way, and then they both have to fight her. Which you do get that. You do get that.
Yeah, way later than you expected.
Yeah, but I would have liked to have that moment where it's like, let's talk about this. You don't have to do this. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I kind of wanted a little bit of banter between Odin and Hela. I kind of would have liked a little bit of banter there. Maybe as he was dying or something.
Well, she said, "I wish I had seen him."
Yeah, like
I wish I could see his face.
Like maybe even as a memory, like have this little thing where she's like sitting there, she's remembering their last conversation before he's like, "Okay, I gotta lock you up."
Yeah, that would have been good to see. I mean, she kind of covers a little bit of the story when they tear out all the cathedral or the throne room ceiling and reveal the true history back behind it. Yes. And she kind of covered over what they had done together because she was the original wielder of Malnor, which was interesting because we know that right now you have to have purity of heart. So at some point in time, she was good and then changed. And he said that.
I don't particularly think it's like, I think with Thor it had to be that way. I don't know. I think maybe the rules kind of changed because remember she did destroy it pretty easily. So it's like maybe she's just that powerful.
Could be.
Maybe at one point it was just a weapon, and then Odin like, okay, let me just that up, and he fixed that up. So just nobody
can just grab it and use it.
Yeah,
because it's actually written on the side of the hammer. So maybe he just added that as an extra incentive to keep people from just misusing the hammer itself, because it's pretty. Oh, when he used the hammer on the dragon or that demon, whatever that thing was, he dropped it in his mouth, and he's like, and then he's hauling ass and running, and then he calls the hammer, and he's like, Hemdale, or he was like, I need to get out of here, and then when he pops in, the demon's dragon looking thing, his head comes sliding in.
Yeah. And it's like shooting all this stuff on the women up in there. That was
yeah, when Scourge's in there trying to impress them women with all the cool stuff, and he's like, that crap goes everywhere. He goes, obviously, and now I'm a janitor. And he's trying to announce Thor. That was another good one too. Because I need to announce you.
He took off running, and then after
Thor's like long since gone, and all this crap. He finally shows up like an hour later, and he's like, "Oh, Thor's here. I can see. You can tell. Never mind." Yeah, that was good. There's just so much to that movie. I mean, it really is. I mean, we've hit just a few highlights, really, because it's just there's so much in there, and you have to watch the background. I mean, I would love to get see it again just to catch all the stuff. I mean, I'm reading, looking at some of the 40 Easter eggs of the movie, and going like, oh, really? I didn't even notice that, or I didn't catch that, or all these little different variances. The combination of the Ragnarok and the cinema or the universe, gladiatorial universe that they were dealing with too. I mean, there's just so much. And they talk about Odin and Phoenix. When he dispersed, if you watch, there's like a winged pattern that forms up real quick, and then it kind of dissipates. So there's a tie into the Phoenix.
I didn't catch that. Okay, that's. Okay.
I didn't catch that either. I just happened to read it a minute ago. I said, I kind of vaguely remember that, but I'm not really sure. I mean, there's just so much in here.
I will say another funny moment that happened at the end of the movie, and I think it was the last line where he was like, "Oh, your buddy made it." It was Cord. He was like, "Hey, your buddy made it." He was like, "Oh no, I accidentally stepped on him while we fell on battle and killed him, and I just felt bad." So
I've been carrying him around this time, and the thing starts. That was good. That just the whole character, Korg's persona. He's being serious as his as can be for him, and his interactions are just so hilarious. And then you got this big, huge rock dude with this little wimpy voice. Hello there, how's it going? We're here for the revolution, and he's such a great character. I mean, he's such a nice secondary character that he's hard to forget after watching the movie.
I want to say the guy that directed the movie voiced him, and I think he voiced Sutor too.
That's a good question.
I think that's the guy. I think he did voice them.
We'll find out. Let's see who did him.
Korg and Sutor. Yeah.
It doesn't look just. That's not the face I was thinking of.
So I like that. I like to see a director do something like that. And as y'all can see, I guess a cold.
It's going around everywhere. Snot nose are us.
I hope not.
Well, look, we got the cold front coming through after Sunday, so gonna get a little bit of rain and it's gonna get cold again. Real cold.
I wanted to ask you, did you catch this too? It's another little Easter egg thing. I don't know if it's an Easter egg, but they had little guest appearances. Sam Neill and Matt Damon were in the movie.
Yes. I caught Matt Damon. And did Sam Neill play hold on, who did he play? He wasn't Odin, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
He played Odin.
Matt Damon was Loki.
And then Luke Hemsworth played Thor, which is Chris.
Oh my God, that's his brother.
I ain't never heard of him.
I ran across something earlier and it didn't jive with me. It didn't process until you just said that, and I was like, Thor kind of looked like Thor, but not really Thor. Yeah. But he was pretty good looking, like him. And I was like, didn't think about it until you just said that, and I went, okay, so his brother played Thor, Damon played Loki, and Sam Neill played Odin. That's crazy. I didn't quite process Sam Neill right off the bat, but Matt Damon was funny though. That whole Matt Damon thing is a great little Easter egg in there.
And I don't know much about Luke Hemsworth, but I know Chris Hemsworth and I know Liam Hemsworth.
Correct. We've seen only two of the three brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even process that at all. I just thought it was just. He's really. Is that actually Chris Hemsworth playing like a variant, a comedic version of himself? Now it all makes sense.
Wow. It's almost that time.
Yep.
We like to keep the conversation going, but we got to get ready because we're going to go see Justice League. Anyways, guys, we really appreciate y'all for tuning in to our Thor Ragnarok spoiler review. And we just in the comment section below, let us know, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Which one was better, the action or the humor? Which one was the best moments? Which ones were your funny moments? Also, who in the hell was your favorite character? Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on here on the Narik Chase channel. And before we sign off, I'm going to let these two give their final thoughts, and we're out of here.
Gotta be.
I have nothing.
Wow. And you're going to see Justice League tonight? I hope you're going to have to be rocking some Justice League for next week's show if I get to watch it this weekend. Because we'll do Justice League next week.
What are your final thoughts?
I love the movie. It's great. It's entertaining. It's an excellent balance of adventure. The Thor world. You'll love it. 2.5 hours will go by that fast, and you'll love it. Make sure you stay for the after trailers. There are 2. So stay for after the trailers. It may be a long time, but stay. It's well worth it and setting up for Infinity War. I'll leave it at that. Until next week.
All right, then, guys. Greatly appreciate you. Narik and crew signing out.